Hello, I'm Umbrenero and welcome back to Umbrenero's Life. Today's video is making watercolor bookmarks part 1. This year I do have a lot of little mini art related series going on, and that's because there's a lot of things I want to do art-wise this year. And this one is making some bookmarks. And going into this, the only thing I had as a thought was I wanted this to be reminiscent of like the Northern Lights, galaxy-ish type. And that's really all I had in my mind when I started working on this one. So I tried to use purples, blues, a little bit of a green, and some pinks, just to give like the galaxy colors and all of that. And I could have done this in other ways, right, where it wasn't arched like it was. I could have done more wavy lines, but that's stuff that you think of after you're done, and it just is what it is. So I just went with the flow here and just started painting on these colors that I knew would work next to each other. But when it came to deciding, all right, how are these bookmarks going to look like size wise and all of that, I'm like, this design, I can just cut it however. So like, I didn't like how it was arching, so I started trying to give it more of a curve and just make it feel different, because I didn't want it to be like completely uniform. But I kept on going with what I had started. And for some reason, I really thought using the one brush dryer was helping. It might have been causing some of the issues that I was having with things. Like, it did help to blend a couple of the colors together, but not as much as some of the other things. But with the amount that this entire page ended up lightening, it did end up giving some kind of neat effects to the various areas. That's for sure. So on the left side, it was starting to really lighten up, and I wanted it to be a lot more vibrant, but it just dried such a lighter color than I was expecting. So it's like, alright, well, this one, we're just gonna go with the flow and see what happens. At least I think it was this one. Because I actually did 2 separate paintings for these pages. Or is this my more vibrant one? You know, this might be my more vibrant one. See, I'm doing the audio for this after I actually recorded everything. Just because it makes it a little bit easier. And now I'm trying to figure out, okay, what one is this? Okay, so this was my more vibrant one. This one I ended up cutting into 1.5 by 6-inch strips, I believe it was. So I was able to get 12 bookmarks out of this, if this is the sheet I am thinking of. And I'm actually trying to put the sheets back together, like piece them out, and see, is this one or what? Let's see. Yeah, this is the one where I actually got 12 bookmarks out of it. And they are all unique. They do not look like the same painting on each individual bookmarks. Like, you can tell they're somewhat related, but they're not identical. And that's something that I wanted to really do, is make sure they all had their bit of uniqueness and stuff like that. Like, there was a couple little spots where it looked a little iffy, and I wasn't sure if I liked it, but I just went with it, and this is how it ended up coming. Before I decided to take this pearly white color and kind of throw in some star-like additions. And since this canvas was drying so fast, not canvas, this paper was drying so fast, I knew they were actually going to stay popped out and not absorb in. So I got the starry little effect that I wanted with the pseudo galaxy in the background. And yes, I tried to get a giant puddle off of the page before I put it to dry because I did not want to have that just sitting there. But next was the more pastel of the two, but with the same color theme. Wanted it to still be like a galaxy. But this one, I decided I'm not going to make it as vibrant. And I decided to take a spray bottle to this page to really wet the page before I started putting any color down. And I have to say, this page really absorbed the water. But it did not just suck in all of the color then, which is what I was wanting. So I started with a big stripe in the middle, and it's like, alright, let's just go with the flow and see what happens. Like, there's spots right where the color did bunch up a little bit, but you can't be perfect, and I know I'm not. So I just went with this, and I really did enjoy how this was going. Because everything was so wet, it blended together so much better. Yeah, it's like, alright, I have my gradients I'm working with. I know what colors I want to use, so let's just see if I can get these to actually show up. And this one, I ended up doing kind of the same process as I did with the first one, is once I felt it was at a point where it felt like a galaxy, but not too washed out, I went and I added in those pearly white little splotches. But on this one, they kind of absorbed in a little bit more, so they ended up getting a more unique look and just ended up a little different. Yes, I did retouch some of the colors a little bit because they were a little too pastel for my liking, because I like a little bit more vibrancy, but it didn't overpower like the first page. And like I said at the beginning of this video, this is part 1. So I don't know exactly which part it will be, but I will actually show the process of how I will finish all of my bookmarks. Maybe that'll be part 2, and then you kind of have the idea for the rest of the videos I do like this. But I will show my process for how I'm going to finish bookmarks, because depending on the size, I have different things I want to do with them and different types of finishing features to add, if you would call them that. So it's something that is figured out. I just need to find the time to do those parts and make sure I have enough bookmarks to make it cost effective to finish them in batches, because I'm gonna save money if I can a little bit. So, thanks for watching, and if you could like and subscribe, it would be greatly appreciated. Again, thank you for watching, and until next time, I am Umbrenero. Bye!